frozen pipes can cause serious damage. That's why Absolute Restoration is giving away free faucet covers to our community while supplies last. Installing them is easy. Just slide the foam sleeve over your outdoor faucet and secure it snugly. Also remember to disconnect hoses, open cabinet doors under sinks, and let faucets drip during extreme cold. Call or text to check availability, and from our family to yours, please stay warm and protected.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Hey, welcome in Mississippi Live Weather 5. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon here from West Lowndes. Our Mississippi Live game of the week. Again, it's going to be Ingomar versus West Lowndes. What to a certain extent is almost a bonus game. Second time these two teams play in a single week. We'll talk a lot about that here in a minute. But again, headline here at this hour in the Room Durham Weather Center, and it's we're still working to figure out as we look at a kind of big headline. The president has now approved a major disaster declaration. The ice storm just come through. That means $39.1 billion will be on the way to Magnolia State. Now, I'll be honest, one of the things that we're looking to figure out, and the one thing you want to know, is whether or not this includes individual assistance. So far, still working to figure that out. According to the Mississippi Association of Supervisors, it does look like it might, but again, it does not always come with a major disaster declaration. That's something we'll be learning more about in the next few days here, but obviously it'll have a huge impact on the recovery efforts related to this, and certainly in either case, this is a huge next step working toward things hopefully getting a lot better. Now, we are expecting things to heat up, and our teams are going to be getting on the court here for our Mississippi Live Game of the Week presented by Casey Lott and Lexi Lott. That come up here in a couple minutes. The forecast also heating up as well, but we are taking a step back because Gabe loves his puns. Temperatures dropping as we head into this Saturday. We'll tell you how cool that Saturday forecast is coming up here in a couple of minutes. But power outages at this hour here, as you can see, those coming in fairly limited faster compared to where they have been, but we still show a lot of folks, still about 20,000 people here across North Mississippi without power at this time. Obviously, that remains a very significant number, with the greatest number there still Fayette County, back toward Tippah County, and Tallahatchie and Panola counties there with some of the higher numbers, as well as Yalobusha County. So things are improving for some. Nice to see Tishmi go down to 1,500. Of course, that's 1,500 too many for folks that have been out for what will essentially be 2 weeks tonight, because that's, of course, when the ice began. First 12 here over the course of the next 12 hours. We do continue to have those temperatures going back into the mid-30s by 1 a.m. We're looking 34. Let's look toward 4 a.m., 31 degrees by early tomorrow morning. Mississippi Live Weather Radar at this point in time, again, continuing clear and dry out there as temperatures about 59 degrees in Tupelo, 65 in Eupora. We're looking at 64 back for Greenville and 63 degrees in Cleveland. Down here in Columbus, we're 64. That's after temperatures made it in the 70s today, so certainly heated up quite a bit. Mama Justice Doppler radar, you can see that front kind of slipping through from the north. That is one of the factors, again, continue to bring us the cooler temperatures that are going to continue to slide in over the course of the next 24 hours. You can see futurecast here. It's cooler. Those north winds continue. A little bit of cloud coming back from the north and east, but that's as close as that moisture is to us. No precipitation with this. So anybody thinking that this is the next round of something, that is not the case, thankfully, as we are, again, just dry and clear heading into tonight. We're 32 degrees by 6 a.m., 46 as we look toward noontime, 49 by 3 p.m. for tomorrow. That is cooler than, obviously, the 70-degree temperatures some of us saw today in the middle to upper 60s that many of us had as well. This result of this front. But when we look at the 7-day forecast, this is an anomaly. It is mainly warm, and even into the far extended forecast, that's largely the trend. Coming up in 60 seconds, we're looking at that. We're also breaking down our Mississippi Live Game of the Week. It is Ingomar making the trip here to West Lowndes, the final game of the season for both number 1, number 2 in the region. We'll talk to our Ethan Foster about what we're expecting out of that game of the week. Coming up here in a couple minutes from West Lowndes as Mississippi Live Weather continues here from the Mobile Room Weather Center right after this.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
Save today at Room to Room's President's Day sale. 55% off furniture and mattresses, 20% off accessories, and 24-month special financing. The time to act is now.
Room to Room Tupelo, where we know there's no place like your home.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
This portion of Mississippi Live Weather is presented by Little's Jewelers.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's Mississippi's Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lovehon.
And we are live at our Mississippi Live Game of the Week location down here at West Lowndes High School, playing host to the Ingomar folks. And also to our Ethan Foster, who's joining me again this evening. Thank you so much again. You've been, we've been talking about the game all week long, and one of the games we had circled. It's interesting, though, how many matchups these two have had this week.
Yeah, and Matt, any number more than one is unusual, and that's exactly what we've got. So we're definitely interested to see how the team that has played this, well, really both teams have played more than once this week, how they're going to respond after, just seeing each other 2 days ago.
Yeah, so hoping to find out more on that. Of course, Ingomar undefeated, and West Lowndes, well, they did not win this last matchup. They're hungry to try to win their final game at home this year.
Not many times when you get a revenge game 2 days after the initial matchup. So I'm sure it's fresh on their minds, and they're not going to let that stop them from trying to play spoiler to an undefeated district run by any means.
The ink circling the date probably isn't even dry at this point here.
I don't even know if they got to watch film on this game, but if they did, they had to watch it last night because the game was 2 days ago.
I think they might have some bumps and bruises that remind them of what they need to do differently this
probably part of their homework last night was to go and watch the film from that game.
Absolutely. So we'll talk to Ethan more about this game coming up here in a couple minutes. Appreciate that, Ethan. Let's talk about your forecast here. Going into this weekend, it is dry. It is a little cooler, but tonight we'll have those temperatures dropping. You can see those north winds, north and west, about 14 miles per hour, starting to get a little bit breezier there, making sure there's a little bit of a chill. And again, our forecast for our game of the week. Again, the girls playing right now, Ingomar and West Lowndes. We're going to have the boys game coming up. That is our official game of the week coming up at 7 p.m. We'll have highlights of that coming up at 10 on Mississippi Live. We'll also have the Spirit section and cheerleaders of the week. At this point, I think Ingomar leading both of those. We'll see if that holds true. We'll have those coming up at 10 o'clock as well. Low 40s by the conclusion of the game this evening. Your day planner for tomorrow, starting out 31, which, that's cooler than we were today. But considering how cold we've been lately, that is just a gigantic improvement from where things have been. 48 your high temperature on your Saturday. Easily one of the coldest days that we have going for a while looking ahead there. So looking again over the next 7 days at high temperatures, there's an anomaly, right? And that is your Saturday at 49 degrees because we're right back to 60 by Sunday and near the 70-degree point for multiple days next week. So it definitely continues to be, again, well above normal throughout much of next week. There are some rain chances there we'll talk more about here in a couple of minutes. But the warm temperatures are the bigger weather story. Looking beyond even the 7-day forecast, the odds are very good. The temperatures remain well above normal for the entire Magnolia State, certainly the western part of the state, maybe slightly better, but ultimately not even that. Not even looking 10 days out, but really 2 weeks out, odds are very good we're above normal. And you might say, well, where has this been? Well, in order for us to be as cold as we've been, we had to kind of use up all the cold air we had up in Canada. That's what's happened. It's recharging up there, and we're left with much, much warmer temperatures as a result, looking forward through the extended forecast. Now, rain chances are going to get a little bit better, and these are purely rain chances. We have some next week. I think next weekend, especially maybe this time next week, into Saturday, some of our better rain chances in the next 7 days or so. And there are some beyond that as well. More likely than not, an above normal pattern for rainfall in the extended forecast there. We do expect the pattern to be probably rain and probably storms. Most indications are a fairly active pattern in the latter half of this month. And, well, all things considered, where temperatures are going to land, more likely have storms than anything else. But nothing like that on Mississippi Live. Mama Justice Stop radar out there at this point. We are dry. We are clear into this evening and tonight. So Futurecast. again, has us mostly dry and clear. You can see 6 p.m. through 9 p.m. this evening. Again, those north winds continue. They drop temperatures back into the lower 30s for the first part of early Saturday morning. 31 degrees in the Tupelo area, about 30 in Houston, coming 31 Eupora, 34 Belzona, and 36 degrees in Greenville. They're 29, though, for Holly Springs, really 26 for the wind chill temperature. And again, there's so many folks still out of power at this point here, almost 20,000 Mississippians. But luckily, unlike last week where we were talking potentially deadly cold, this is cold, but not that cold this time around. Unfortunately, though, confirming an additional fatality, bringing us up to 29 related to this ice and winter weather event. That confirmed by the state today. Unfortunately, just a number that has continued to go up and hopefully will not go up more, but very well could. So 37 again, 9 a.m. for that actual temperature on your Saturday morning. We're 40 by around mid-morning, 46 degrees by noontime. Still a wind chill feeling about 41 by noontime on your Saturday. And by Saturday afternoon and into the evening, yeah, we'll probably make it upper 40s, but still wind chills in the mid-40s even in the afternoon with a few passing clouds. So highs on your Saturday, we typically for this time of year should be somewhere around the mid-50s. Instead, we're upper 40s, lower, I mean, maybe middle 50s. Here in Lowndes County, where we're at, about 55 degrees, 54 in the Starkville area, but 49 Tupelo and 45 about all we manage up there in Niuka, 45 degrees in Corinth, and 50 in Senatobia. So 35 or so for tomorrow evening. As you have some maybe evening plans on your Saturday, a date night there, you'll definitely want the jacket. It is the coolest evening we're going to have going forward for a while as we drop back into probably the mid to upper 20s by early Sunday morning. That's as cold as temperatures get. I think there's not much wind chill, but still probably some mid-20s out there for wind chill temperatures to begin your Sunday morning. We'll keep it mostly dry, mostly clear as we go into Sunday afternoon. And we expect temperatures respond warmer because of that. Now, I say mostly dry. We're not 100% dry. This, again, is a sign that those chances for moisture to come back a little bit more. Don't have much there on our futurecast in the early afternoon, but the latest version coming in still has maybe a couple of sprinkles out there. Again, this updating from even what we showed you at 5 o'clock. We showed close to Water Valley. But you'll notice that's actually less than we showed you at 5 o'clock. A sign, again, most of our projections, including our strike model here, underwhelmed on moisture chances, at least initially in the first few days of this forecast here. So no precipitation behind the front moving in this evening. We are dry and clear heading into your Saturday night. As we'll start off from 31 for Saturday, 46 by noon, and 47 degrees by about this time tomorrow. 7-day forecast has us 60 as we go into your Sunday, 68 degrees by Monday, 69 for Tuesday of next week. And yes, that does mean a lot of spots. Macon, Caledonia, Starkville, we're probably 70s, maybe even some mid-70s for the middle of next week. Rain chances are rather unimpressive. We don't have a ton of meaningful moisture out there. And so that means, while we could have something, we're probably not going to have storms, at least not based on current thinking there. If we're looking toward more storms, and maybe the first chance possibly have some stronger storms mixed in, probably the latter part of the next week, the time frame on that. Now, we're only showing 58 for the high on Friday. We owe that somewhat to confidence. Friday still remains somewhat low confidence on how everything's going to time out there. But depending on how that times out, that could then enhance our storm chances. Because here's the thing to know. Regardless of what Jailbird Bob or Gulf Coast weather solutions for ridiculousness say for engagement on social media, there is no second round, another round of winter weather, anything coming. We're most likely to see storms with the next chance. And honestly, we're still evaluating whether strong storms remain a possibility. But the trend upward certainly lends itself toward more thunderstorms here. Again, we're at West Lowndes High School. We're watching the Ingomar girls taking on the West Lowndes girls. We're going to have the very latest on what we're expecting from our game of the week and a few shots of what's going on here live from the Room to Room Weather Center's Mississippi Live continues here from our Casey Lot game of the week right after this.
When you've been injured, don't settle for a lawyer who doesn't even know where you live. Call Langston and Lott. Local lawyers, personal service, real results.
I've always heard that cavities are contagious. Is that a real thing?
Yes. Bacteria transmit the disease. Mothers to child, fathers to child. In our saliva, those bacteria live. We all have them. No matter how good you brush your teeth, no matter how well you do at home, we all have them. Everybody has them. Those can be passed from one person to another, as well as the same bacteria that create gum disease. So not only cavities, gum disease as well. And then the other thing we don't like to think about is viruses. Cold sore virus, things like that. gets passed in the same manner. So all three of those things, from gum disease to cavities to mouth sores, ulcers, mouth sores, cold sores, all of those are passed person to person.
So I shouldn't assume because I have a cavity and I'm just brushing the rest of my teeth, like that can transfer if it's not taken care of?
It can transfer to other teeth in the area. That we see that often because those bacteria like to grow and spread out. We also see it from parent to child or person to person.
Welcome back here to West Lowndes High School. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon alongside of our Ethan Foster, and this is our game of the week. And it is not senior night here in West Lowndes because they already had that. This is a makeup game and the second meeting in 1 week.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, Matt, but it's been a crazy last couple of weeks here in Mississippi, so why not make it crazy for the last game of the season, right? The teams you're watching right now, the girls for Ingomar and West Lowndes, this is just back to business, normal for them, right? But for the guys, it's very interesting because Ingomar played West Lowndes on Tuesday, which, easy math tells us that was just 3 days ago, Matt. And you said that was unusual, right? Well, yeah. If you want to know a little bit of a comparison, Ingomar played Okolona on Monday night, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't play Okolona for another 3 weeks, okay? If you go the time between the first meeting and that meeting.
And then you go 2 days with this.
Yes, exactly. So kind of unusual. If you look at the schedule over the year, typically it's anywhere from 3 weeks to a month in between matchups between opponents. So this is definitely crazy. But the reason that this had to happen, a lot of people you could probably guess, is the ice. Everything that got rescheduled, everything that got shifted around. And Ingomar actually had another game scheduled for last night that they had to cancel so that they could play this district game tonight.
That's too many in a row. So what do we expect in this big District 1A matchup?
Absolutely. So Ingomar sitting at the top of 1A Region 3 right now, undefeated in district play. And believe it or not, West Lowndes is right behind them. Not quite undefeated in district play. They're sitting at 6-3, but they are in the number 2 spot. So 1 and 2 fighting it out tonight. Big game on the hardwood, and second game this week that these teams have matched up. How crazy is that?
Yeah, no, it's crazy to think about that. Okay, so are you ready for your weekly pick? Do you want to give us some stats first, some things to back up where you're coming from?
So let's talk a little bit about these two teams as it stands tonight. I've got my very in-depth game notes ready to be read off here. To think about this, West Lowndes, if they were to win tonight, they're going to hold on to second place in the region, okay? So if they win, that's good for them. But if they lose, there is a potential for them to slide to number 3. That would have some implications for the 1A tournament. So we won't get too deep in the weeds on that because we could spend the rest of the night talking about tournament seeding and things like that. But Ingomar, they're the best in Region 3. They're the second best in 1A overall, Matt. Okay, so they're pretty good. Not only that, but they're number 44 overall in the entire state. So top 45 team in Ingomar there. 77 for West Lowndes in the entire state. So nearly a top 75 matchup. That's pretty good.
Really pretty good matchup.
That's pretty good. And it's not the only game like that across the state tonight. Really good game going over in Pontotoc tonight. Columbus Falcons in Pontotoc. So another Columbus team ranked in the top 5 in the state. That's absolutely massive.
Lots of basketball from
Lowndes County represent, right? The Falcons of Columbus are looking good. And it looks like the Ingomar Falcons could be looking good again tonight, too. So, Matt, with that being said, again, this is one of our favorite times of the week here in Mississippi Live. And the reason that is because we've had a lot of really good gear over the past couple of weeks, all right?
You've clearly hidden your gear pretty well.
Well, what makes you say that, man?
I just mean there's no helmet.
Both hands clearly available. Surely I shouldn't have anything crazy. You would think, Matt, maybe I'm thinking I want to go with the home team tonight. Maybe I want to say that if
you heard it here, Ethan says the home team wins. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. What? Not so fast.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you thought I was going to say that if you mess with a Panther, you get scratched. Well, Calhoun City already took that, okay? We can't do that twice in a row. But I will say this. I think after all the adversity, okay, you would think Ingomar has played so much this week.
Yeah.
Surely they're going to be tired, Matt.
Which they will be.
But, Matt, they're not going to give up that easily at this point in the season. Okay, I'm rolling with Ingomar tonight. Okay, let's get over here and get some support. Ingomar is taking it tonight. Ingomar going to win tonight. Okay, well, you heard it here first. The Ingomar Falcons are going to keep rolling. They're going to go undefeated in district play to finish out the regular season. The girls are going right now, and they're hoping that they can do the same thing, get a win tonight. But as for me, with the boys, I'm rolling with the Falcons. Of course, I am 4-0 in my picks in the season.
Are you
that
really?
could be dashed tonight. I'm 4-0 as it stands right now. That could be dashed. The home team, I did have.
He's the one that needs to be forecasting for us, Gabe. Go ahead.
Well, we don't know about that, but I will tell you, I had a friend of mine, a coworker of mine, that is in the Ingomar area. Her daughter plays for the girls' team. She told me that this West Lowndes Ingomar game, especially for the boys earlier this week, was rowdy. Okay, so I'm expecting not only a good game, but a good crowd as well.
Well,
So hopefully we get some juice. And I'm going with the Falcons as it stands tonight. And not only that, I think there's something else.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Hold on. We also have this nice little towel. I'm throwing the towel in, but not for the Falcons. Looks like the Panthers are going to be throwing the towel in tonight if it's up to me, but it's really up to them. Short week for both teams, but it's going to be a good one.
Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to flip. This is going to jump on us. Y'all be okay with this for a moment here. I'm going to switch it back to the other side so we can kind of show sort of what we're looking at here. So I want which one here? I want the back telephoto camera. Don't get too antsy, Gabe. I'm going to reconnect. You can actually kind of show the game here for a moment, so it'll take a second to kind of reconnect. Again, you're watching live here on Mississippi Live as we're watching the Ingomar girls taking on the West Lowndes girls here. Current score is Ingomar up 9-5. We're in the second period here, 6:30 left in the second. Kind of a low-scoring game, all things considered, right?
Yes, it is, and it's a little bit surprising. Ingomar has a historically good girls basketball team. They are known for winning state championships. They are a championship school as far as girls basketball goes, and boys basketball too at that. But, only 14 points scored in this game midway through the second period is a little bit surprising, but both of these teams have been very stingy on defense, okay? They're fighting for the ball. You're seeing some interrupted passes there. So, both of these teams fighting. This is the last game of the season, Matt. This is, the seniors' last chance to play in the regular season before tournament time starts. So there's a lot to play for, but there's also going to be a lot to play for later tonight when our boys matchup goes. Our game of the week, sponsored by Langston and Lott. We're so excited to be here tonight. Not too far away from my hometown, still in familiar territory, and it's going to be a good one here out on the hardwood tonight.
It is, absolutely. So that game's starting at 7 p.m. tonight. Still from Ingomar, excited about that shot there. Unfortunately, on this, I have to choose a lens, and so I chose the zoomed-in one so we kind of have a better shot here. But yeah, everybody is excited, and it's a really good crowd here for both sides. You can see Ingomar very much showing up, even though I'm zoomed in super close. And of course, we have Ethan's cheering section there a moment ago, still kind of laid up and lounging. A lot of good folks again from West Lowndes here as well. So a big matchup tonight. Ingomar girls taking on West Lowndes girls. And of course, our Casey Lott, Langston Lott game of the week is going to be the Ingomar boys taking on West Lowndes boys. That coming up at 7 p.m. tonight. And can't wait to kind of check that out there as well. So again, appreciate everyone for supporting us here on Mississippi Live Weather. Our next live broadcast will be coming up here at 10 p.m. Well, at 10 p.m., of course, we'll have highlights of the boys here. And we'll also, of course, have the latest on our cheer squad of the week and fan section of the week. That's come up here in the Room to Room Weather Center at 10 p.m. from our Langston and Lott game of the week. We thank you so much for supporting us here on Mississippi Live. And for Ethan Foster, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon. Gabe, I don't know if you can punch it back over here. If you just punch my live shot up again, I'll go ahead and I'll go to the wider shot, and we can show just a little bit more of this game. I think we'll let it go till 6:30, and then we'll kind of go from there. So give me a moment. This is going to kind of refresh as I change my back camera here for a moment. So just a second. It's not going to zoom in as closely. It might be a more realistic shot once we get closer here. So again, Ingomar up 12-5 here in this game. Again, a Division I matchup.
A little post work right there. Defense transition into offense, number 32 there. Oh, and then a steal. Okay, can't finish, but okay, there you go. On the inbound pass after the play, stealing the ball back for the Falcons. And now West Lowndes is going to take it back out, but, the way Ingomar's playing, they're probably going to block this and take it back for themselves. Watch this right here.
Let's see.
Okay, they're giving a little bit of room.
A full court press there.
Yeah, look. Still, they're trying to get in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
That's how you start. And there you go. And that's going to be Ingomar ball. Again, very, very stingy on defense. Now, even though the offense is not necessarily outputting what you might expect right now, they're still up by 9 points, which is not a lot in basketball, but it's still a lead. And it's all about building the lead, but especially maintaining the lead. You hear about how defense wins championships. Well, offense is important, but when you can stymie a team on defense, get inside the post like 22 right there, finish the basket, it's 16-5 Ingomar right now. There's 4 minutes and 38 seconds left in this half. You really think, can West Lowndes kind of get around this defensive? Ooh, okay, not in my house. I got to look up 32's name there. She is absolutely killing it in the post and in the paint right there.
22 is taller than either one of us, by the way.
She is. And 32 is not about the same height. Maybe she might be taller. I don't know. Oh, ooh.
I mean, granted, I'm not a basketball
I'm still thinking about that block down low. That's going to have me awake tonight. Let's see if we can get a
Ethan,
little
are you
ball.
sure you're not a Falcon?
Heat check, not quite.
You didn't weren't a
little bit of
Falcon
an air
growing
ball
up?
there. West Lowndes just not really able to make it happen.
Gabe wants to know if you were a Falcon growing up.
I was not a Falcon growing up. You know, there's a lot of things that I was growing up. A young boy, wide-eyed to the world. If I was anything growing up, Gabe, and you should know this by now, I was a lion first and a lion always, okay? A panther is not a lion, Gabe. A falcon is not a lion. And you know what the lion is? It's the king of the jungle. That doesn't really have anything to do with what I was. But as far as that goes, we do know that the Ingomar Falcons, as far as the girls go right now, are continuing to hold the lead here in this game. It's just about 4 minutes left in this half. Currently a timeout on the court. West Lowndes held to only 5 points right now through the first half. That is impressive.
So, Ethan, I got to ask,
impressive.
do you think the West Lowndes stands a
By the way,
chance?
you know,
You're very
here, so you know, Ethan can't hear you, but I will repeat what you say to Ethan. Go for it.
Let's
ask
hear it.
if he thinks West Lowndes even has a chance, because he's very Falcons biased tonight.
He is very Falcons biased. So what Gabe wants to know
let's hear
is,
it.
do you think that West Lowndes even has a chance? You went real hard in the paint.
Is West Lowndes going to have a chance? Well, if we're talking about the girls, Matt, basketball is a game that is moment to moment. You hit a couple of 3 balls, you get them to fall, you can get back in the game really quick. So, absolutely, West Lowndes has a chance. They're at home still. Let's not discount that. It is the last. Actually, right there, as I'm saying this, look at that. They almost had a steal on defense. Ingomar recovered the ball and got another one to go inside the paint. So, again, the way this defense is playing, they're making it very tough. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, but you got to start making shots at some point. And West Lowndes needs to do that pretty soon, because you don't want to go into the half down by 13 points, 20 points, 25 points, however large this lead can grow in the last 3.5 minutes of this half. You just don't want to be down that much, and you don't want to have that feeling of we can't score. But again, it's early. There's still a lot of basketball to be played, and we'll see what they do with the rest of the half, with the rest of the game. But as far as right now, it has been all Falcons.
Okay, so I think his actual question might have been about our game of the week as the boys play. Again, you're very pro Ingomar tonight.
Yes, I do feel like Ingomar has the edge tonight. Everything that I've looked at and read, I'm a big numbers guy, big stats guy, okay? If you look at the way that Ingomar has responded to having to reschedule every game this week, okay? Everything seems to be in their favor as far as the strength of their team. They're at the top of their region. They're the second best team in 1A, okay? West Lowndes is the 8th best team in 1A, so not a huge gap, but still we are talking about one of the best teams in the state as far as this district goes. And they've proven it. Even after a strange week of rescheduling, they have proven that they can respond to a little bit of adversity, okay? And you got to think they're feeling good. They had a home win earlier this week, but again, playing on the road is not the same as playing at home, Matt. So while I did pick the Falcons tonight, again, you cannot discount the value of playing at home, especially if the home crowd is on your side.
But let me just say this. That was a couple of quick steals there by Ingomar.
Well,
that
Matt,
gap is now the 5-24.
I said earlier, this 13-point lead, 20-point lead, it's 19. I don't think I need to speak for what's happening on the court right now. I said it earlier, this stifling defense, Matt, That's going to stop a team real fast. When you can't score more than 5 points up in the first half, okay, it's going to be a rough time in the locker room. Maybe some encouraging words from the coach. I actually know the coach over there on the sidelines for West Lowndes. I've actually worked with her in broadcast at Mississippi State. That's pretty cool. I just call her Bam. And so I know that Bam's going to go in the locker room at halftime. She's going to coach this team up. She's going to tell them that, look, we're going to have to get creative on offense. Hey, there's a 3-ball. Look out. 3-ball for number 3 for West Lowndes. That's one way to break up a stint. Oh, no. The Falcons going to do it. Are they going to respond with a 3-ball? Oh, they are. But they can't get it to go. And so that's how you start a run, okay? There's less than 2 minutes.
You see
But
that
if you get it to go,
when they're able to break the press, when you can get your rebound like that.
and there you get a foul inside on Ingomar. So that's going to slow the game down, Matt. And that's really good when you're down by a large, you got a big deficit going into the half. So, again, that slows the game down. You got a chance to make a few free throws here. Try to just lessen that lead, okay? You can't get it all back. You can get one back right there. Still got a chance for another point here. Cut the lead down to 14 right before halftime. But, again, I think the biggest thing about this is that you can't get it all back at once, and that's what they're going to have to do. We're running low on time here, so I know I'm going to throw it back to you, Matt. Again, looking at a big lead for the Ingomar Falcons girls team here going into halftime. And will the Ingomar boys team stay undefeated in district play to close out the regular season? To be determined. We'll all find out together tonight at 10 o'clock.
You're watching Mississippi Live. Current time is now 6:31. Well, I think we're going to go to halftime here of the Ingomar girls game as we're carrying it live here. And certainly Ingomar girls up at this point here, 26, now 28-9. With 1:18 left in the first half on the road against
Physical game in the
Very
paint
physical
right now,
game.
Matt. Up by 20, nearly 20, and they're playing like it.
They are, absolutely. So again, kind of hard.
That left us speechless. That was a big, I mean,
but that's the kind of effort that happens.
people who say that girls' games aren't physical, they don't watch.
Well, that's the reason I wanted to cover girls basketball in particular for Mississippi Live, is because there's just so many great girls basketball teams around, and they don't always get the same credit that the boys do, and yet they practice just as hard and sometimes play harder. Let's be crystal clear.
Absolutely. When you're playing a team like Ingomar, you know they're capable of winning a state championship, and they've done it many, many times in the past. You're definitely going to put your best foot forward on the court. Maybe not the best foot forward tonight for the Panthers so far in the game, but again, lots can happen when there's this much time left in an entire game. And again, they're back at the free throw line, so maybe if you can just drive the paint a little bit more. It looks like Ingomar is a little bit more prone to committing fouls in the paint. They're being so physical. Maybe what Bam wants to tell them in the locker room at halftime is drive the paint. These girls are going to foul you. You've seen it twice in the last 30 seconds here. Maybe slow the game down, get it inside. Don't go for the big three every time. It's good to mix it in, but if you can slow the game down, make your free throws, need a basket to go here and there, you can actually cut into this lead a little bit at a time. Figure it out on defense. They're running looks like a zone right now. Oh, nearly a steal. So again, you got to break up that rhythm, but it's hard to do that when they're
How do you
scoring.
beat a zone? You drive the lane.
Exactly, and that's what they did. And right now, Ingomar is maintaining a 20-point lead with just about 30 seconds left in this first half to play for this girls' game. Again, leading up to the boys' game tonight between Ingomar and West Lowndes, our Langston Alliant Mississippi Live game of the week. We're so excited to be here. My pick for tonight, of course, the Ingomar Falcons, but we'll see. A lot of games left to be played before that.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
so, guys, I gotta ask.
Hey, Gabe has a question because Gabe is just chomping at the bit. Basketball guy back there, and it's like he's got me.
May not realize this, but Gabe is a basketball guy. Okay,
Listen,
he calls me the
I-
basketball expert, but he's got basketball blood in his
I
veins.
love me
okay?
some
I know
hoops,
he's
for
just
sure.
stomping. He just wishes he could be that third person right here with us right now in the middle of this matchup we've got going. Gabe, let's hear what you got to say.
Hey, listen, I'm with you guys behind the scenes watching every bit of this content. And yeah, Ingomar is whooping tail right now. But I will say, it seems like West Lowndes, once they fix a Langston and Lott, then they should be good to go, right? Haha, there's a pun.
Hold on, wait, one more time?
They got to fix a
get your
Langston
pun.
and Lott
Oh,
in
no.
order to get back in this game.
Let me just apologize to folks at Langston and Lott for Gabe's humor. It does not respect the, or it's not, what is it? What's the thing they always say? It does not represent the feelings of Mississippi Live and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
I
a
just
lot
picked
of
Gabe.
jargon and legal stuff. Maybe we can contact them about a disclaimer or something like that, you know?
We need a Gabe Maynard
They could help
disclaimer.
us with the legal side of that.
Yeah, put that on my
I will
lower
mention
third, that'll
10
help.
seconds to go here in the half. You saw
The
West
Maynard
Lounge.
disclaimer.
Yeah, the Maynard
Hey,
disclaimer
he's doing
is crazy.
6'7",
But
guys.
you saw them at the free throw line again. But, of course, it's still a 21-point game, Matt. So maybe just shooting free throws is not going to be enough in this game. You're going to have to really figure out a way to stop the Falcons on the offensive side of the glass, because clearly you figure out a way to kind of get in their heads a little bit, cause some foul trouble. Maybe if you can figure that out, drive the paint. Let's see what they do. Oh, last-second heave to end out the first half there.
That helps.
That's a trade ball to end the half. That puts it 32-14. I just love a buzzer beater three, Matt. I don't care if it's college, if it's boys, if it's girls, if it's the pros. Something about seeing the ball go through the net with no time left, that's fun. But again, for Matt and for myself here in West Lounge for our game of the week, we've got a lot coming and a lot left to be played. We're excited, and we will have more on that Mississippi Live weather tonight at 10. Matt, anything left to give it on this girls' game we're just watching here?
Well, I'm excited to see the second half. I think it's going to be a good one. We will see you coming up at 10 o'clock for the latest again on highlights, as well as the fan section and cheer squad of the week. So we'll see you at 10 o'clock. But for Ethan Foster, Gabe Maynard, you've heard behind the scenes. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon here from West Lowndes High School. We'll see you at 10.
It's Friday night y estamos activos. Head out early. Drinks flowing to level.
No sé qué pasó. I didn't even drink that much.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.